time for another Secret Empire tie-in. Today we have Uncanny Avengers issue number 25. Alright, so let's dive into this. And basically it's taking place where it left off last time in Uncanny Avengers. And we have Rogue, where she fell underground along with Shocker and Scorpia after she caught them trying to rob a bank and started to stop them out in Manhattan. And this is right after the Dark Force dimension fell upon Manhattan. And so they're down there and they're fighting all these demons, as you can see by this big layout right here. And they are doing pretty well. And they're fighting and everything, and they decide that basically she's going to be Rogue's going to be taking charge of everything. And so they do so, and she's coordinating the attack and plans and talking about a lot of dialogue about how she's a leader, basically. Anyways, we get back into the story with Jericho. Remember, his body was taken over by one of the Dark Force dimension spirits, and he's getting ready to, release chaos, mayhem, and destruction upon everything. And Jericho, he's not in control of his body. So basically they tried to get into the creature's mind to release Jericho. But they see that that's not working, and they're getting ready to fight a whole bunch of demons that are around the place. And throughout all this, you can see just constant fighting and, destruction and everything. It's a wonder that Manhattan's even any piece of it's left, after all these issues of all this destruction going on. So Jericho shows up and basically, asks to go into what's-her-face's body, into Synapse. She'll go into her body and basically possess her to help take down the demon that took over his body. So she agrees and gets back into Rogue, and they kind of finish up their fighting and everything, and are about ready to leave when another big, huge creature comes out of the woodworks. And so they decide, okay, let's take this one down. Kind of breaks back into Jericho. He's now in her body, and she's kind of flying and going off to meet Jericho's body. I know, confusing, isn't it? So then we see Rogue, with Scorpia and Shocker, basically going up against this big, huge monster. Really well drawn, if I may add. Goes back over with the Wasp, and she sees a group of New York citizens with baseball bats, whatever, taking out demons and making sure that they're okay. And they're like, oh yeah, we're just fine. Go help those that are in need of help. And from there, we see the battle between Jericho and Spirit and Jericho's body. And that's, a bunch of pages of that, and everything seems to be going well. Go back to Rogue over here, and she is fighting this creature with Shocker and Scorpia, and they go right basically inside of it, and they start tearing apart from the inside out. And they, as you can see, they end up defeating it, and of course Shocker's like, does this mean we're X-Men now? So she gets the call that Jericho's in need help, and so she's goes off to do her bit. And coming back, Wasp and everybody else is fighting and doing as well as they can, I guess. So she, Rogue gets there and starts, taking apart Jericho's body along with the spirit, and basically they win, and there's a big boom, and a shoo, and a and a boom, 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 boom. And of course, all of our heroes throughout Manhattan are hearing this. And of course, Daredevil, he's so sensitive to sound, he didn't like that big boom. So anyways, Jericho's back in his body now and thanking everybody, but it's time for them to lick their wounds and start moving on to helping those in Manhattan that need the help. Because, as you can see in the last page, just as soon as we figured out how to bring back the light, they need to start fighting. But in here, the plight of New York City in darkness continues in Secret Empire 6. Then return here next month to see what happens next with the Uncanny Heroes, because the witch is back. Alright, and that concludes Uncanny Avengers issue number 25. Stay tuned, we're going to see what else is going to be happening. Some good stuff. I think you're going to like it. Alright, remember, Hail Hydra. Cut off one head, two more shall take its place.